If only we could, we'd make a deal with the Duffer Brothers and get them to stop adding new cast members, because we can't take it anymore. It was too hard when we lost Eddie, and I don't think fans can take any more heartache. Stay tuned as we take a deeper look into what to expect from the Duffer Brothers and all pressing news about what to expect for Season 5. First up, we learn the show creators are aiming to resist adding any more characters to the final season. It's not in order to spare us from heartbreak like we experienced with Eddie Munson. It may be because Season 5 won't be near as long as Season 4, so there isn't any time to introduce a new character. The Duffer Brothers told sources, "We're just very careful about who we're introducing." It's a smart move on their end. Being it's the last season, it makes sense that they want to focus on the original cast. And it's true, you don't want to deter fans and rob them of their time with all the characters they have adored from the beginning. Even though the past seasons we have met and gone through multiple other characters, there won't be any more of that. As far as what to expect for the new season, well, we will say this. The Duffer Brothers said they were coming for a return, much like the last Lord of the Rings film. It's been confirmed we will get the whole new season in the same chunk instead of a weekly release. The anticipation for this coming season will be nothing like we have ever seen before. Season 4 racked in with 1 billion views, barely trailing Squid Games. At least the brothers will be sparing our feelings by not adding new characters. As far as heartbreak and others, well, we'll just have to wait and see. Next, we break down our thoughts on Vecna and how he'll be bouncing back. It's been teased by cast members that there's a connection between Vecna and Will. With the most recent season, fans started to piece together a few theories themselves. Fans have even created their own slogan based on their beliefs, saying, "It started with Will, it ends with Will." You can't deny these two characters must share a connection. Will spent a long time in the Upside Down earlier on in the series, and ever since then, Will is able to sense when Vecna is at work or nearby. It's a subject fans want the Duffer Brothers to touch on, and we have got a feeling we will get just that with this new season. Sure, it could be reduced to theory, but the character who plays Vecna, Jamie Bauer, mentioned things aren't looking good for the gang since they ticked off Vecna. We have heard it before. Many do not think Vecna retreated to heal himself. No, he is more than likely building and making himself stronger than ever. It's safe to say he's purely out for blood and is determined to get his sweet revenge. With Season 4, we saw a little bit of how the Upside Down came to be, but Season 5 may give us the full story on the true origins of the Upside Down. We came to learn how Vecna came to be, and furthermore how it was him using the Mind Flayer as his pawn when it came to terrorizing the town. Perhaps learning more about the origins of the Upside Down could give the gang a way to destroy or reverse it. In addition, let's see how Season 5 will be like Season 1. Now, as we said before, it is true the Duffer Brothers are aiming to base Season 5 around the core main cast, so in a sense, we'll be going back to the roots. But what could this be foreshadowing? Well, put your coats away, because we will not be returning in Frosty Russian, but we will be back where it all started. Rather than the cast being split for the majority of Season 4, everyone's back in town, well, at least physically. Besides, it will be interesting to revisit some relationships we haven't seen since Season 1. Now that Hopper's back in town, we wonder if he will take on as sheriff once again. Not to mention the Byers are back home. But wait, what could this mean for Jonathan and Nancy? Since Jonathan has been away in California, things have been rocky between the couple, and while things have been slipping, someone else has started to step up. Yep, the guy we all hated in Season 1 is pulling at our heartstrings. It is no secret there have been numerous moments shared with Steve and Nancy. Steve has evolved over the series from growing into a big brother figure for Dustin and someone who constantly has your back. There have been a few times the pair have crossed paths, but I think the most memorable moment came when the two were battling off bats in the Upside Down. Steve had gotten torn up pretty good, and Nancy came to his aid to patch his wounds. During this vulnerable moment, Steve opened up with Nancy and apologized for the way he was before, and even said he wished he had snapped out of his ways before. If that had been the case, there could have been a chance they were still together. You could see a look in Nancy's eyes like she wished the same thing, and maybe this proves she still has feelings for him. It's a complicated feeling, and we see her reunite with Jonathan shortly after. Next up, let's see how fans geeked over Season 4 and how it almost broke the internet. The roller coaster of emotions that came with Season 4 nearly shut down social media. We had to say goodbye to a new character we fell in love with. Yes, it was a heart-wrenching goodbye to Eddie Munson, but that wasn't before Eddie put on one of the most historical guitar solos in TV show history. Just prior to his death, Eddie thought of a way to draw bats away from their friends sneaking into the Upside Down. Munson whipped out his guitar and pulled his guitar pick off of his necklace and whispered, "Christy, this is for you." Eddie went on to shred his guitar, playing a cover of Metallica's Master of Puppets. He did the song justice too, with a killer performance. Not to mention when Max made her narrow escape from Vecna, we heard Kate Bush's hit single, "Running Up That Hill." Fans still haven't shaken that song, and I'm sure you hear it on every other video on TikTok. It practically turned into the song summer anthem. Funny enough, Kate Bush probably shouldn't have been on board about having her song on Stranger Things, but she is a big fan. She told sources when she got asked about having her song on the show, she replied happily, saying how much of a fan she was, and she would love for them to use her song. After all, her song dropped around the time the season is based on. Speaking of TikTok, numerous fans have been seen reenacting the scene where Eddie climbs up on the cafeteria table and blurts out while putting his fingers behind his head to imitate devil horns. Some are cringier than others, but let's be honest, no one compares to Eddie Munson. Lastly, could it be possible Vecna has Max's soul? Max nearly escaped the hold Vecna had on her before, but brave Max went out of her way to give her friends a chance and attempted to lure Vecna away. In doing so, Max went back into the Upside Down. Things weren't looking good, but Max seemed to be pulling through. Her arm and leg broke just before she was freed from Vecna. As she dropped from her elevated state into Lucas's arm, she spoke as if she was frightened, claiming her sight was compromised. When she's able to get medical attention, she slips into a coma, but everyone knows it's nothing but that. When Eleven arrives back and greets the rest of the gang, Dustin reveals the sad news. Elle being Elle, she took it upon herself to try entering Max's mind, hoping she'd get through to her or catch a glimpse of where to find her. When Elle enters her mind, there's nothing around, not a memory or anything to go off of. Since Max was in the grasp of Vecna before losing consciousness, fans believe she's not free from Vecna just yet. It's possible wherever Vecna went to hide or was cast, he took Max with him. After all, Vecna enjoys using the characters as pawns in his game, so she may be a pawn in his game. Even if Max's physical body is at the hospital, mentally she's far from there. Because Max is such a loved character, we doubt she'll turn into a villain, but we wouldn't put it past the Vecna to use her. Regardless of her state, it's clear Eleven and the gang aren't giving up on her. There you have it, Stranger Things fans. We know you're thirsty for answers and have your own thoughts and ideas as well. We want to hear it all, from conspiracy theories to your prediction about the future of the characters. Comment down below. Make sure to stay tuned in, and remember to keep running up that hill.